A very warm welcome back to the Race of Champions Nations Cup. Johnny, we've seen some great skills on show so far, not least in the Celebrity Cup from Sir Chris Hoy, Denise Lewis, Greg Rutherford. They all impressed you?
Yeah, they have. Again, that sort of course is not an easy thing to do. All that sort of turning sharply, you normally have to do what Sebastian was doing, which is sort of drift it all around. But you don't do that. You end up sort of going straight into the wall, running over all those cones that are out on track. But that's what that is all about. It's all about having the finesse to be able to get through it without knocking anything over, and especially not driving off the course or, like Joey Essex, getting lost.
Getting lost. The first of the semi-finals coming up very shortly between Nordic and Germany, and Sebastian Vettel, that man there, he's got a great history at this event with Michael Schumacher. Some big shoes for Nico Hulkenberg to fill. Yeah,
pretty much. But I think Nico can fill those very, very easily, I think. But the relationship that Sebastian had with Michael was fantastic. They used to have a real good time wherever this event was held. They used to go out during the evenings and have a lot of fun. But when they were actually doing the competition itself, they were completely and utterly at one with each other, and they knew they were only there to do one job, which was to
win.
You got it.
Mike Tyndall about to get thrown around again. Let's get back to our commentary team.
So what about the aerial atom? Well, it's an ultra-lightweight skeletal bodywork machine, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds from its 245 horsepower motorcycle engine. Ultra-lightweight, ultra-exposed, built in England's West Country.
Ah, Team Somerset will like that very much.
Quite. I'm thinking, and I haven't researched this because I didn't think of it until I came on air like everything else. I'm thinking Wiltshire.
Oh, that's not a million miles.
Wiltshire.
OK, so Team Germany are out on track. Sebastian Vettel will have the inside line. I think that is the line he chose when he won the coin toss.
Coin toss?
I've not heard of that expression before.
No, that's a Somerset expression, obviously.
Clearly. And then Team Nordic come out as well. Tom Christensen will be in the black and orange car, as Martin's already said, on the outside lane of this. This is Heat 1 of a potential 3.
455 brake horsepower per tonne in these aerial atoms. It's sufficient to say they are quite pokey.
And just 565 metres of track to go round in one lap.
The eyes have it. Will it be Sebastian Vettel, the four-time world champion, or Tom Christensen, Mr. Le Mans? Away they go. Really good start by both men. And this is now where it starts to get deadly serious, because they've made it through one step. So from now on, it's about making it through and winning the final and making sure the others don't beat you.
Very difficult at this point to tell out which of our cars is actually ahead. We will get a clue as they come round these final 3 turns into the start-finish straight for the very first lap, to be completed out of 2.
It's all about fluidity and momentum. I think Vettel was just in front. 12 hundredths of a second. Well, that is makeable, uppable. Coulthard brought more than that back, but that was a big slide from Tom Christensen. I think the Danes are going one down. He clumps the curve, half a lap to go. Vettel looking more controlled.
But aggressive on his gear changing. He's going into that fluid motion needed in these cars to get them around. As they come around the final turn, a lot of curb taken there by Christensen. Who gets it?
Christensen's coming, he's going to win it. Christensen takes it away from Vettel.
That was
wow.
Close.
No.
Vettel
had it.
Vettel has done it then.
Didn't look like it from the shot we had from behind. It looked like Christensen got to the line, but Vettel has victory.
Someone is going to have to break the news to Christensen. I think Vettel will do it in his own donut style. This takes me back to India when he won the championship in Formula 1, and he didn't care about the rules. He still did his donuts. Well, that was pretty close, wasn't it?
That was very close indeed. Well, let's have another look at the closing speed to the line. Oh, yeah, Vettel just in front on the far lane. Now, he has been saying all day that he reckoned the interior starting lane was beneficial. And He wanted to make sure he had every opportunity, because it's just for fun.
Oh, yeah, obviously. So there's a lot resting on Petter Solberg next. They will be in the Mercedes AMG GT, and it was Solberg, remember, that had that wide swing of the Euro NASCAR. And he will be hoping to redeem himself for Team Nordic and take the battle down to the last of these heats. But look at Sebastian Vettel celebrating. I think he won that by 200ths of a second. There was nothing in that apart from 200ths of a second. You couldn't even blink your eye that fast. So Sebastian Vettel climbs out, his very excited passenger struggles to climb out of that car as well. They're not the easiest things to get out of if you're not used to it.
No, not graceful. Not graceful.
No.
Thank you.
I'm being corrected. I've lost it now. Somebody was saying that the Honda engine does come from Swindon in Wiltshire. I'm going to have to.
Yeah. 600. I mean.
600s. There we go.
600. I think it was.
Vettel clarifies the situation to Christensen.
That was so close that from behind, it definitely looked like it had gone the other way.
He doesn't
So next up, as we said, will be Solberg going against Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg, Le Mans winner from this year. He will not be able to defend his championship, but because he will not be able to do it because there is a clash with Formula One and Le Mans, and I don't think he's going to get out of driving his Force India car.
Force India have got a test driver who'd be more than happy to pay for the opportunity to drive.
Yeah, newly announced.
Everybody's saying he's not going to defend his title in Le Mans. I don't think that's even remotely set in
Well,
steel.
it depends if it's going to be a Force India car next year or if it's going to be an Aston Martin team next year,
well,
because
if
that
it's a-
is still
yes.
to be confirmed as well.
If it's a Force India with a customer engine, then he can race for Porsche. If it's an Aston Martin, it might be slightly harder. This is very true.
That might cause some problems. Look, TK still looking back. He wants to see the replay, doesn't he?
Verlaine is having a gentle rib here, just having a little wind up, because, of course, this is only today. Nations Cup is just today. Tomorrow, it's mano a mano. There it's stab each other in the back and claw your way to the top of the greasy pole. And there's a couple of very tough opponents there for Pascal Verlaine to have to try and get by.
Yeah, the Race of Champions tomorrow. We will be on air from 3 until 6, so make sure you join us wherever you are. And we will bring you all of that action as we get underway here in the Olympic Park.
Jacob Truelove saying, stop it, Race of Champions. These are too close. These are too close. Let's hear from our drivers.
Tom, we thought you had that. It looked very close. You looked like you thought you had it.
Yeah, because normally it's very close, obviously, but I thought normally when the camera goes on the person, but it was very close, and I think I would like to see it from the side. But for sure, I lost with, was it 600?
600. And of course, you lost to Sebastian Vettel. So, Sebastian, was it clear for you that you'd won that heat?
Oh, not at all. I think after the first lap, I saw we were just crossing the same, and then the second one, yeah, you feel like you come out of the low-speed hairpin, and I just wanted to get on the power, and it was very close. But then I saw the name on top, so I was very happy. But it was very close. In the end, I think we did the same race. So.
And now Nico has to beat Petter Solberg.
Yeah, so that would be nice. That means I think that we'd be in the final. So, yeah, that'd be a good effort.
Well, let's watch it.
You have to love Sebastian Vettel. He has the driest sense of humour, and for a German, that is saying quite a lot. He is brilliant. So this is a battle of the Bergs. Solberg versus Hulkenberg.
Yes, it is. So, World Rally Champion and World Rallycross Champion Petter Solberg. Next week, he will go to try and defend his World Rallycross title against Le Mans winner Nico Hulkenberg. Is Nick Tandy watching at home? I know that their fellow driver Earl Bamber is racing in McLaren GTs this weekend.
Be
Not sure where
fast asleep
Tandy
at the
is.
moment. Well, Nick Tandy, get in touch on Twitter and let us know where you're watching. This race is about to start, though.
Here we go in the Mercedes. They grumble away from the line. Lots of tyre squeal, and I think that was from the Hulk. Petter Solberg's eyes, you saw, watching for the lights. There is Hulkenberg with the white stripes, and Solberg with the orange stripes halfway around the first lap. So Solberg starting on the inside. Now Vettel started on the inside, and he had the tiniest of advantages at the line.
Listen to those Michelin tyres squealing around. The first time check comes in. Let's see who's in the lead.
Oh, that's close. I think Solberg had it. He did have it fractionally. 4-litre twin-turbo AMG V8. Can you imagine what these things are like to drive?
I tell you what, Hulkenberg's flag has come off and Solberg just ran over the German flag on his way to try and win this. Can Hulkenberg come back with anything?
I think right now, Tom Christensen is poking Sebastian Vettel in the ribs, going, ha, you thought you were going to win this.
This is tight. Hulkenberg makes a dash to the line.
Oh, here we
Solberg
go.
looks like he's got it. Oh, no, I think it's gone the other way.
It has gone the other way. It is Nico Hulkenberg who wins it by 1300ths of a second. And that means that Vettel can now start poking Christensen back in the ribs, going, I told you, boy, we had it. Nico Hulkenberg wins. Sebastian Vettel wins. Germany are through.
Welcome back to the Race of Champions Nations Cup, and my goodness, they had us on the edge of our seats, didn't we? I mean, if you think about it, we've got two German drivers there, both in Formula One, and just nicked it.
Yeah, sure.
But actually, neither of them knew it at the time. It's so hard to tell.
No, not at all. But again, up against two sort of a strong pairing as well. But again, the Formula One guys, you would have expected them in many regards to sort of just have that little bit of an edge. The next one, that's going to be rather interesting as well.
OK, this is how it's looking coming into the second semi-final. Germany then have booked their place in the final, and it will be England. But will it be England 1 or England 2? Plato and Prio, or Button and Buncombe? Germany have won this 6 years on the bounce between 2007 and 2012, the partnering of Vettel and Schumacher. The question is, will they do it again? But they need to find out who they'll be facing, and who do you think will triumph out of the two England teams, Johnny?
Well, you would think, because of Alex Buncombe is the one who is a little bit more the inexperienced of the bunch, but then of course you've got Jensen, he's going to do very well. He will be able to help Alex as well. But then you've got the touring car guys, as in Prio and Plato, in many respects as a stronger pairing. I think Alex will surprise.
So Alex will come up against Prio in the first of the two potentially three races. So you think he could spring a surprise on Prio?
I think he could. Again, he's raced in GT racing for a good few years now, and I think that experience actually will benefit him in this semi-final.
Well, let's find out. Back to our commentary team.
So Prio is in the orange and Buncombe in the black of the KTM Crossbow.
Yes. 2-litre TSFI turbocharged engines mounted in the back of the KTM Crossbow. Ultra lightweight track special 2-seater. Oh, a little understeer in these cars. They need a bit more speed to get the grip out of the front end. It's a very firmly sprung track car.
I tell you what, Al Buncombe is going for this in that black KTM Crossbow.
Well, look, he's just seen what Pascal Verlaine did last year in his first year, and Buncombe figures that in his first year he might as well go hell for leather and see if he can do it as well. Little gathering up there, and across the line they come, and Prio with a shade of an advantage. 1300ths of a second, that's half a slide somewhere. Tiniest little bit of extra oversteer. And as the passenger here in these cars, when you look at it, you think, yeah, it's big enough. And as you're getting to the line and he's warming up and it's all arms and elbows alongside, you are desperately pressing yourself against the far side of the carbon bathtub to try and make sure you stay out of the way.
Checkered flag is
Who's
out,
to the other line?
and it goes
Prio. Prio who wins it.
Wow. So it is England 1 taking the first.
England 1-1, England 2-0. 4-4, East 5-5.
So Prio celebrates and heads off.
Pointy
Buncombe
finger.
does it. Pointy finger.
Pointy finger.
Always a pointy finger.
He had the Vettel pointy finger.
So next up it will be Button against Plato. But let's look at some of the highlights of this, and a close finish, but not close enough.
Yeah. So it is down to Jenson Button to beat Jason Plato. So 1-0 to England 1, which means that Team Somerset are in a hole and they need this win.
And you can hear the roar of the Mercedes AMG coming out onto track. England 1 versus England 2, so the white car coming out first, and then the orange car will follow.
A lot of love for Race of Champions London tonight on social media as well as across the globe on your TV and streaming. Hashtag ROC London. Let us know your thoughts. So here on board with Jenson Button. He's in the car with the white stripes, and with the orange stripes, Jason Plato. Hard to identify, of course, because they've all got Union flags on. Hang on a minute.
That was definitely Jenson Button I just saw waving.
Yes, but we didn't see the exterior of the car.
No, we didn't. They all look the same from that angle.
Right. Okay, we need another close-up
okay,
shot.
That's
so
Jenson
there's Jenson, and he is looking.
So, so Plato's in the orange.
With the orange highlights. There
you
you
were
go.
absolutely right. You called it right first time. Plato orange, Button in the white. Second round.
So it's a must-win for Jenson Button. I think he likes those situations, doesn't he? Every racing driver doesn't mind when they're ahead, but just knowing that you've really got to perform brings out something extra special. On board with one of the most fluid Formula One drivers in the business. A little unfairly, people were suggesting earlier on that 2 laps is all he's had experience of this year, but there we go.
Some would say he's relieved to have a Mercedes underneath him at the moment, but that would be me. So they come round to the first split, and it is almost dead level. Look at that.
My goodness.
Just 0.0165. Button trails Plato at the halfway point.
It's another close one, 1600ths of a second. Well, with the flappy paddle sequential gear shifts, they're not going to miss a shift, but they could easily understeer, oversteer in these cars. Jason Plato won't know that he was in front. When the drivers have said it's that close, you can't tell. Can Button bring it to the line, or is Plato going to put them through 2-0? I think Plato had it. No, Button turned it around.
It is 1-1. This goes down to the decider. Jenson Button managing, as you say, to pull it back from the brink by beating Jason Plato.
This is starting to get quite epic, isn't it? As we get towards the finals, it's getting close, close, close. David Coulthard beaten by Jenson Button by 51 thousandths. That was a little more of a margin of error. That was 1500ths of a second. Nevertheless, it goes to a tiebreak.
And I've got a funny feeling that next up for these guys, it's going to be Button versus Prio.
Yep, our 2 winners.
And they are going to be in the Ariel Atom Cup, if I've got my details right, which goes 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.9 seconds.
So those of you who are tweeting that Race of Champions has lost its sparkle, really? Would you like it to be a little more close than it is?
Well, I'm
sure
loving Matt Hunter, who's just got in touch with, as you said, the flag for Team Somerset, which is what Button and Buncombe are racing under, and it is that yellow with the Griffin Dragon in red emblazoned in the middle of it. So that is Team Somerset against Team Touring Cars. In this section, it's England 1 versus England 2. A little booster seat for Andy Prio.
Andy Prio was saying about these guys, he said, what, do you have to be 6'10" to drive these things? He was telling me that he's so far forward in it, it feels like he's like a little old lady with a steering wheel up in his chest.
This is me when I go karting. That's exactly what happens. So the race is almost ready to get underway. You can see them prepping as we speak.
And in the background, bantering away.
So you can see there Jenson Button on the left of that shot. And that's Jason Plato, isn't it, on the right-hand side. And he says, look, it was that small. Not just as well David Coulthard isn't around to make any comment about that particular free throw.
I'm not sure we need David Coulthard to lead us up ambiguity alley when we've got Jenny Gow on the mic.
Thank you very much. You can play Innuendo Bingo slightly later.
I could be playing it all evening. I mean, if it's a drink for every innuendo that Jenny gets through, there won't be a sober member of the audience.
Saturday afternoon's going to be absolutely awesome tomorrow if you play along with that. Maybe we should type something up and have specific drinking goes. We shouldn't really be promoting drinking, I suppose.
No.
Do drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. Play bingo responsibly also.
Oh, people asking, what do you think about a Team Holland in the 2016 Race of Champions with Max Verstappen and Robin Freins? That would be cool. Get your suggestions in, maybe, for who you would love to see taking part in Race of Champions for 2016. Is there a particular pairing? I think Verstappen has been one of the most successful new finds. Right, let's go and hear from Kim. He can give us an insight with Neil.
Alex, what did you just say to Jensen? Because it's all down to him now to get through to the final.
Yeah, just, good luck and just do your best out there. That's all he can do. He's been saying he can't really change the gear in the Atom very well, so hope he can, get it sorted now. But, it's going to be close between these boys. Andy's really, really quick around here, so, let's watch and see.
Now, obviously, this is your first Race of Champions, but you know each other a long time. I mean, do you think he can do it?
For sure he can do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've known him, ages. It's a real honour to be here, and let's hope we can get the win for Team England.
And if you do, that means you'll be in the final at the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, I know. I never thought I was going to be here. A few weeks ago. Yeah, it's been an awesome week. Thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
So that's Al Buncombe.
Yeah. Worth pointing out, by the way, that Jensen Button has spent time living in Guernsey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
doesn't live there anymore.
No.
Weather's not good enough. Al Buncombe is the Blancpain Endurance champion and a Nissan driver. So he's tutored the likes of Jan Mardenborough and Chris Hoy. And now he's tutoring Jensen Button. But gear shift's a problem. Have you been in an Atom? Do you know how hard it is to change gearing?
No.
No? You and me both then. Just getting some notes and pointers though.
Who's one?
Yes, just we're out. It was out 5 minutes ago. So it was out 5 minutes ago. Both of them, we've both been out the same amount of times.
Yeah, he's so relaxed about this. He doesn't care about winning at all much.
Well, while Jensen quizzes the crew on the warmth of his tyres, let's hear from Azifani with Toto Wolff.
Toto, Susie, we'll start with you, Susie. A shame to go out there, and to England as well. It's a big old rivalry, that one.
Yeah, we did so well last year, and this year out so quickly. Disappointing, but that's Race of Champions. One small mistake or just not quite quick enough and you're immediately out.
Toto, you're here supporting Susie, but I guess one eye on Pascal Wehrlein as well. He did pretty well here last year.
Yeah, both of them did well. Susie did well and Pascal did well. I'm pretty opportunistic, so I came to win, and then we were going out too early. But that Race of Champions, you see, it's very marginal always, and everybody can win.
Thanks, both.
So husband and wife team, Susie and Toto Wolff, and this time it was Toto's time to feel the nerves, but Susie's last racing in the competition this weekend, so tomorrow at Race of Champions she bows out of her racing career.
Lots of suggestions on Twitter for other teams. Team Finland. Well, yes, absolutely.
Oh, I don't know, they're more at war with each other at the moment.
How about, somebody suggested, and I like this, how about a separate fathers and sons challenges?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Rundles, Hills, Ross. Well, you can't do Hills. Palmers. I'm liking the father masses, obviously.
Okay, let's get this racing on. You can continue to discuss that on Twitter, but we are ready to go. This is Button versus Priaulx for a place in the final alongside Team Germany, Sebastian Vettel and Nico Hulkenberg. On the near side towards us, we have Jensen Button. On the inside track, it is Andy Priaulx.
So to go and face Germany in the final, to uphold the honours of Great Britain against Germany in the Queen Elizabeth Stadium, Andy Priaulx versus Jensen Button. Button closest to us, with the pink and the Union flag, and Andy Priaulx with the predominantly white helmet with the colours of his homeland, Guernsey.
Now we know Button was struggling with this gear shift, so can he master it enough? That was only the first half, let's find out.
Little lock up from Priaulx as he came on the exterior line down to the first corner, but Priaulx starting on the interior lane, which we kind of feel slightly might have the advantage, and he does. Priaulx's in front. And the margin is decent. 1.7.
1.7
Priaulx with a big slide. A big slide from Andy Priaulx.
He's giving us everything.
Look at him, head down and charging, really straining against the belts and working hard.
And I think this lead is about the same. Maybe it's come down about 1.3. Let's see what happens when they come through. But Prio definitely has the lead here.
Yeah, half a second at the end of the first lap. And it is Andy Prio that goes through into the final. Jenson Button loses by 2.9 seconds.
Team Somerset. Disappointing. They will go out of this. Jenson Button and Alex Buncombe will not take part in this final. Jenson Button struggling with those gears, and it did show. He would have wanted any car other than what he got in the end. He will be disappointed.
Well, that is the lottery of the choice of cars here. It's not decided by the drivers. Nobody gets to choose which they drive. They don't even get to choose in which order they drive. That is drawn before the event gets underway. So you know when you're going to race, you're just not quite sure what. Cars have cycled through. By the way, we have had people saying, where are the ROC buggies? Well, they will be in action again tomorrow. The ROC buggies and the RX 150s and RX 200s will also be out. Hugely spectacular, joining all the other machinery on track for tomorrow's Race of Champions.
So it will be Germany versus England. It will be Prio and Plato versus Hulkenberg and Vettel for the final for bragging rights for the Nations Cup here at the Race of Champions.
England.
Well, welcome back to Race of Champions Nations Cup. That was exciting stuff again, Johnny.
That was good, wasn't it? A
Yeah,
good little
really good.
battle that we saw there. That, yeah, Jenson, obviously something went wrong because he was so close at one point and then way behind at the end. So something
Not
happened.
happy in the car.
No, and that's part and parcel of what these cars are. Sometimes it all sort of, everything works for you, and other times there are issues. So I punched her earlier on and see what that did.
Never know what you're going to get. So we've got F1 versus British touring cars. We've got Vettel and Hulkenberg versus Prio and Plato.
Yeah.
How is this going to play out?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think Andy Prio should have the advantage. He comes from Guernsey. I think they have a speed limit of about 50 miles an hour. They're narrow like this. So actually, he should benefit more than anybody else. But they're both in British touring cars at the moment, doing very, very well. And Prio is something who's always been very consistent in this event.
And he's won all 5 races tonight.
Yes, he has
Prio.
indeed. Again, that's what I say. Very consistent. Has been in the past. And, of course, the F1 boys, they're going to be very hungry and make sure that they start their mind games before the final starts.
I find myself wanting to support England, but wanting to support Formula One as well.
Well, I think it's great. I think it's great we've got an English team in there, but it's great that we've got 2, first-class Formula One drivers in there at the same time. For these guys, it's going to be brilliant. Jason Plato, he'll be sort of all the cocky boy at the back before it all starts, but the cool cucumber will be Andy Prio for sure.
Well, the cool cucumber beat Jenson Button. Let's hear from the defeated Button now.
Jenson, that was quite a significant loss there to Andy. What was the story?
Well, I was struggling with the gearbox. I went from second, instead of going from second to third on the straight, I went to first. And after that, I just couldn't get in gear. So wasn't best. But anyway, it's great. It's great that England's in the final. So we'll be supporting them.
Thank you.
To choose for both of us. Yes.
Disappointment or race.
And Sebastian's just made up the rules as he went along. This is for the first.
I go inside, please.
Yeah, it had to be. Prio going for the inside line.
The inner part of the track, you've got actually a longer run to actually get there to warm up the tyres. The other guy shoots out and basically has to stop straight on the start-finishing line. They have done in the past, give them a little bit of an extra run just to warm them up. But I think what we've seen so far, they just go straight to the grid.
No,
so,
we don't know who's got what, though, do
No,
we?
we don't. Exactly, yes, until they start, yeah.
Wasn't clear with that coin toss there,
no,
was it?
Not clear at all, no.
But they'll both be chomping at the bit to get going with this one,
Yeah, of
won't
course they will. Of course, that competition comes out now. this means everything. This is the final. Now this is where you make a little mistake, you're going to pay big time this time.
And how easy is it to make a mistake on a track like this?
Very, very easy, because you can't touch the barriers because you get a penalty, so you've got to make sure you keep away from them, but you've got to get on the power to get out of the corner as quick as you can as well. But that's where the judgment factor comes into play. And a touring car is a little bit more, moves around a little bit more than a Formula One car. But again, the experiences they've all had mixed together, I think it's going to make it a bit of a cracking final.
Should we hear from Mr. Kravitz? We can cross over to him now. Ted.
Well, Natalie, Johnny, let's have a look at the contenders, shall we? We've got the final that we all wanted, I think, Germany against England. And let's have a look quickly at Andy Prio here, the Guernseyman, of course, in the Radical. And on the right-hand side, Sebastian Vettel, of course, the man who's certainly impressed a lot of people in the race paddock here. Plenty of people thought that Christensen would get the better of him, but no, he and Hulkenberg have done the business for Team Germany. But I think this is going to be as tight as anything. They are in the Radical cars. They're two-seaters, of course. There will be an issue as to who they have got in the other seats. But I quite fancy Sebastian Vettel's partner, Natalie. I don't know whether you do. You recognise the man under the helmet there? It's Sir Ben Ainsley. So Vettel has at least got a man who's equally competitive as he is in the car alongside him, whereas Andy Prio is going to have to go some to beat the four-time world champion here, I reckon.
Well, let's hope that Ben Aisley is a better passenger than a driver, Johnny Herbert.
Let's hope so. He's not going to be out helping very much, is he? At all. But again,
I think he's more than four-time Olympic champion anyway.
Doing this around the Olympic
so I wonder what
well,
Ben makes of all of this.
Just spectacular.
Will he be excited about this?
Oh, of course he will. Again, he's next to a four-time world champion, Formula One world champion. So I think, yeah, he's going to be trying to see if he can learn anything off him, because he needs it after seeing what he did on that little auto course earlier on. But Andy's going to be actually very strong as well, because, yes, he's surprised a couple of people in the paddock, as Ted said, but I know he's been around in this event for a good few years. I've raced against him as well, I think, when we did one in Portugal at one point. But he's a very competitive man who has a vast amount of experience, and again, he's been a world touring car champion as well. So we've got two world champions going head-to-head.
Poor old Ben's being thrown about a bit there. And something that we both spotted about Vettel, he's just so calm. The blinking speed is sensational. He just goes to another place, doesn't he, just before he races when the visor comes down.
Yeah, well, he just relaxed. And again, that's a driver who is exactly fully aware of everything that's going on underneath him. And then when you have that ability to do that, you are just then so calm. And Sebastian, for sure, is one of the top calmest guys in the world, I think.
OK, come on then, who's going to win?
I'm going to go actually for Andy. I think Andy in this one might just have that slight edge.
OK, let's get back to our content.
No reason for it.
And as they make their way around, warming up those tyres on the way. On the other side, there we go, out comes Sebastian Vettel with Sir Ben Ainsley alongside him.
And Vettel with a very short run to the line, really making the most of it, trying to heat those tyres, trying to heat the brakes. That's why it's that jerky, stabby forward and backward motion. So Sir Ben Ainsley sitting alongside Sebastian Vettel, multiple Olympic champion with a multiple Formula One world champion. Andy Prio, European Touring Car champion and three-time World Touring Car champion, representing Team England and Guernsey. Vettel! Did he jump the start? Did he break the beam? Now we're going to have to wait for the stewards to take a look at that, but certainly the car twitched when the camera was focused on him.
I think that looked like a very slow start for both of them, and Vettel questioned himself. We will wait to see what the replays show us after that. Was it a slow start from both of them, or did Vettel jump the gun, which would mean a 5-second penalty if he did?
Well, halfway around the race to the line for the first time on the inside line is Andy Prio. He is in front. He has a 0.7 of a second advantage over Sebastian Vettel, so a penalty for Vettel might be immaterial if Prio doesn't make a mistake. Takes a tiny bit of curb on board with the German. One more half lap of the stadium to go. Vettel's behind. Not hearing of any penalty yet for the German driver, but Priaulx is going to get to the line first anyway. Checkered flags are waiting. Victory for Andy Priaulx. Sebastian Vettel has not lost in Nations Cup racing. 6 times he's entered, 6 times he's won for Germany. There is the flag of Guernsey being waved in the stands. And Andy Priaulx puts Germany 1-0 down.
Hurrah! I shouldn't really say that. So let's have a look at what happened at the start of this race to decide what happened. Lights are on. When the lights go off, yeah, you're right, Vettel moves.
Correct.
Doesn't break the line, I think.
Well, it's a big painted line. We'll wait for race control, but it won't change the result because Priaulx won it on time. 1:02.80 to 1:03.87.
And I think in that, it's Greg Rutherford who was the good luck charm for Priaulx. I found myself a talent, recognising athletes by their eyes. I never knew I was doing that. But Andy Priaulx victorious, so let's see what Plato can do. He takes on Le Mans winner from this year, Nico Hulkenberg, to see if it will be 2-0 to England, or if Germany can come back. So Vettel down there in the driver changing area. You can see they're taking off the Vettel sticker. Meanwhile, the Mercedes are out. So it's the Mercedes AMG with Nico Hulkenberg and Team Germany on the inside line in the orange and black car, which means...
Just got to hopefully Plato, and then we'll be there.
Crewkern in Somerset, incidentally, is where the aerial atoms are built.
Oh, a
with
place
Honda
I know
engines
very
from
well.
Swindon. So Somerset.
Very well represented today.
I knew it was West Country. I just did think it was sort of Wiltshire, but it's not. That's where the engines come from. However, to what might be the decider. 1-0 England lead in the final. England won. Germany. Oh, Alan Green, where are you now? I'm getting to say that. Jason Plato, look at the eyes. He's on the outside lane, the less favoured, and on the inside with the orange highlights is Nico Hulkenberg for Germany. Must score and pull this back in a German car for the honour of Germany.
Slow start there, I think, from Plato. Hulkenberg definitely got faster off the line, but as they come round for this first half a lap, very hard to tell who will be leading each other in a true reflection. But it's a very nice looking straight from both cars, although heavy on the brakes for Plato as he came in. This will be the first gauge as they cross the line on the first lap to see who is leading.
Plato takes a lot of curb and it's going to cost him half a second, and Hulkenberg is at the line easily in front, 3/4 of a second. Yellow card for Hulkenberg for touching a barrier as well. He can't afford another touch or it will cost him 5 seconds. And Plato has to push now.
He was pushing hard then, he was all ragged as he came through the final turn. This is the final decider to see if it goes on to the next heat or if it will be Team England taking the spoils.
Hulkenberg very smooth and he's going to be first at the line. 1-1. Hulkenberg equalises. Germany are right back in it. It'll be Priaulx versus Hulkenberg, and 1 yellow card is escapable for Hulkenberg. No time penalty.
Oh, I thought penalties were going to decide it then for a moment, but no, we continue on.
Oh, yellow card. So
no
doesn't
red
matter
card
in the final, of course.
Well.
So 1-1. And this is what we want. We don't want a 2-0 win. We want it to go to the decider, because otherwise Jenny's going to sing for the next 15 minutes, and you don't want that.
Anybody that heard me doing my mic warm-up will definitely be able to say they don't want that. So the cheerleaders are out on track as the guys change cars for the very final race in the ROC Nations Cup. It will be Andy Priaulx versus Nico Hulkenberg as Germany go head-to-head with England in the decider.
Can't not know about it.
Al Buncombe just below us, having a little look down at the action. He must be on Team England's side, I feel.
If you've got the kettle on, you've got about a minute to get your cup up before we go for the tiebreaker in Wembley. Jason Plato and Sebastian Vettel can only sit and watch here at the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Stadium, not in Wembley, in Stratford, East London, as England and Germany head into the deciding final run in the Nations Cup.
So that's Hulkenberg, which will go out for Team Germany with the orange striped vehicle as they make their way out on track. He will take the... I think he was going to take the outside line, but maybe not. Let's see where he comes out, because the first driver will make their way around the looping stadium here and will make their way to the inside start line. The second driver will take their time and eventually be let out and take the external of the line. So
Rio will start on the inside. England were on the inside for the first heat, Germany for the second, and it flip-flops back to England for the decider. This is best of 3. So Andy Priaulx from Guernsey versus Nico Hulkenberg from Germany.
Hulkenberg is released now and makes his way to the start line as these two drivers try and take their time, making sure their tyres are as hot as possible. So the thumbs up from the marshal, they are in place. The grid girls make their way to the side. We are waiting for the lights to come on, and when they go off, it is the final.
For Germany, it's Hulkenberg on your left. There he is. And for England, for a first ever win, it's Andy Priaulx. Don't jump the start, boys. Away we go. Good clean getaway from both men. Germany for a 7th title in Nations Cup racing. England for a very first, and a nice smooth drift from Hulkenberg. These cars nicely warmed up. He's got Ben Ainsley alongside. Not sure who's with Andy Priaulx.
As they go around the loop, we should get an idea of who's leading in the split. It looks very level at this point. Team England, Priaulx just maybe a whisper in front, but look at Hulkenberg sliding the back of that.
Priaulx by a big margin. It's the better part of a second. Oh, and a big slide from Priaulx. And that's half that second gone. 93 hundredths for Andy Priaulx, the first lap advantage. Hulkenberg pushing very hard, half a lap left.
Yeah, he really got his arms crossed over there. He's coming through the start-finish lap. This is the moment. This is what the ROC Nations Cup is decided on, Martin.
Andy Priaulx with a half-second advantage, maybe 1 corner from victory. He slots it home. They think it's all over. It is now. England win the Nations Cup in London. And Germany, for the first time in a final, are defeated. And Priaulx donuts to celebrate the success. The Guernsey colours on his helmet and in the stadium. And Team England, Andy Priaulx and Jason Plato, have done it for the home crowd. The Brits got into the finals in Wembley, couldn't beat Schumacher and Vettel. But they have done it here in Stratford.
Priaulx stands up, raises his arms aloft, and everybody in this stadium raises their arms and pumps the fist. Ben Ainsley there. Was that Ben Ainsley alongside him?
He's with the Hulk. I'm not sure who was with Andy. Well, there is Crofty getting in to have a quick word. Somebody my height alongside Priaulx.
I think everybody here was cheering for you, mate, throughout the evening. How does this feel?
Listen, that's awesome. 3 times now in the final, beaten by Germany, so hey, good job.
For once, it didn't go Germany's way. Commiserations, Nico. Stick with us for a minute. 3 times in the final, you said, beaten by Germany. Tonight, you get your own back.
Yeah, listen, I had a great night. Fantastic to be here in the Olympic Stadium amongst all the fans here. And it was an amazing race. I loved it. Well done to these guys. And it's nice to win it once and for all, because 3 times in the final, so to do the job is great.
Yeah, so talk us through the final from your perspective, Nico. You were hustling and you were harrying, but you couldn't quite get the speed.
No, I was struggling a bit with the back end of the car, but, you know, congrats to Team Britain. Andy's done a fantastic job today. He's on good form, as you could see. So, yeah, good done.
Your first experience of the Race of Champions, how's it been?
It's been amazing and fantastic, you know, really having a blast. Tomorrow is going to be even better. You guys are great. Thanks for coming out, even though it's really cold. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going for it again.
Excellent. I hope to see you in another final tomorrow then. Nico Hulkenberg, ladies and gentlemen. Sebastian Vettel, come on in as well. Hugs for everybody. Jason Plato, who promised me a really good party before you won the trophy. Well, tonight it's going to be even better.
Do you know what? I think I might have performed a bit better had I had a big party last night. You know, Andy's kind of pushed me through a bit. I just made a few mistakes, but, you know, fantastic feeling to win at home. You know, Germany have beaten me and Andy in the final last time I did it a few years ago, so it's the right result when we're here, isn't it?
It is. I think everyone here agrees with you on that one. Would you say this is actually now one of the highlights of your career? You've had many over the years, but to finally get a ROC Nations Cup victory for Team England, this has got to be up there.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, this is, you know, just to race against these guys. You know, they're the best in the world, and to have the opportunity to race in this sort of venue against this calibre of driver, but also in the way it is. You know, we're all relaxed, having a little, you know, there's a lot of fun to be had between us. Of course, when we put the helmets on, it's serious, but as soon as the helmets are off, then we're having a beer again. So, yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I love it. Jason, congratulations to you. One more word from Andy, if we could just come in. I don't think you'll stop grinning between now and next year's Race of Champions, because you're going to have to come back and defend the trophy. They will never let you never come back again.
Oh, listen, thanks to Frederick Johnson and all the guys at ROC for bringing us here. I mean, Team GB were only sorted about a week ago, so brilliant to get a chance to win in front of your home crowd in London and the Olympic Stadium. What more can you ask for? Very, very happy, and as I say, thanks to everybody for coming, and let's have a go next year. We'll see. Tomorrow is another day or so.
Brilliant stuff. Jason Plato, Andy Priaulx, Team England won. Congratulations to you. Commiserations to Sebastian Vettel and Nico Hulkenberg for Team Germany. Seb, sometimes you have to lose, I'm afraid, on that one. Does it hurt too much?
It hurts a lot. Hurts a lot.
He says clutching his back at the time.
I'm getting older, you see. No, I think, you know, Andy drove fantastic tonight, and yeah, they deserve to win. It's nice, obviously, you know, in front of the home crowd. We tried everything. But yeah, I think it was their day, so very happy for them, and yeah, had a lot of fun, so looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks for everyone to come out. It's very, very cold, but yeah, it's been a great night.
We've loved every bit of it. Seb, thanks ever so much indeed. We'll see you tomorrow, Sebastian Vettel. Ladies and gentlemen, what a ROC Nations Cup night that was. Congratulations to Team England 1, champions in 2015.
Well, congratulations from all of us here. What a job Team England 1 managed to do. So Mo Farah, Jessica Ennis-Hill, Greg Rutherford, they've all done it here. Super Saturday in the Olympics. They flew the flag for GB. And now Priaulx and look at a very happy Plato do it for Team England once again.
Yep. It's a great win. Plato lost twice in semi-finals to Germany with David Coulthard in Wembley 2008, and in the finals in 2010 with Andy Priaulx in the Esprit Arena at Dusseldorf. They lost to Germany again, and this time they have gone through for victory.
And they had to do it the hard way, didn't they, Martin? They had to come back through Team Brazil. Coming up through there, then they had the young stars, then they had to take on the England team, and then Germany. That's not an easy round to do.
And in fact, Andy, 3 other times he's been knocked out in the semis, has been teamed with Jenson Button, who he knocked out in the semis to go through and eventually win the finals. And Greg Rutherford there with Ben Ainsley, 2 great Olympic champions, having a very different lap of honour around this track as they ride with our final drivers, Andy Priaulx and Nico Hulkenberg, both of whom won their own heats, and Andy Priaulx then winning the decider. So our crowd tonight about to watch the final presentations and then start to make their way home. Busy weekend of motorsport all weekend. They're just waking up in Macau for the final touring car race of the year. They are waking up, probably just going to sleep in Bahrain, where World Endurance will be this weekend as well.
Oh, I hope they're in bed already if they're competing tomorrow. That would be terribly bad show, wouldn't it, on a school night to be up at this time in Bahrain?
It's only 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or so. Well, no, yes, I suppose the drivers will probably be in bed. The journalists will still be awake. There's Denise Lewis down in the centre in the black cap.
So great to see England triumph the first time in 15 years. And of course, the defeated Germans will be back in action in Abu Dhabi. Sebastian Vettel and Nico Hulkenberg. Practice 1 for that at 9:15 next Friday. Practice 2, 1:45. And the F1 show at 5 o'clock. Saturday, practice 3 at 10:15 and quali at 12. And then race day, track parade starting at 11:30. And then wrapping with reaction to the race, Paddock Live at 3:30. And don't forget to join us tomorrow because it spices up again then. It's an individual shootout between all the drivers and racers and riders you've seen today. From 3 o'clock tomorrow, Johnny and I will be back. So, Johnny, first time in 15 years of trying, England have triumphed.
Finally,
you don't get
really
to say
good.
that very often, do you?
No, you don't. No, brilliant. No, it was really good to see. Andy Priaulx, as I said, really classy driver. And, of course, Jason is always going to be there or thereabouts. But this is great because this is a great warm-up for tomorrow as well. Nico Hulkenberg, first time around, sampled the cars. Tomorrow, he could be even stronger.
OK, I know we can get another quick word from Ted Kravitz. No, we can't. So we're going to have to hear from you instead, Johnny.
No problem at all, anyway.
So, Andy Priaulx did incredibly well tonight.
Yeah.
He got a great start. He got warmer tyres. That worked in his favour,
It did work in his favour, definitely so. And I think, as I was saying before, it's about 100 metres from where they come out onto the track to the start-finishing line. But you just get that little half a lap, it just makes all the difference. But you've got to use it as well.
Denise Lewis and Greg Rutherford.
So, we've got Greg Rutherford and Ben Ainsley were the partners for Germany and England tonight. Good for them to get back out there and enjoy the Olympic Stadium again. Having lots of hugs and kisses on the podium there. What can we expect tomorrow, Johnny? Tomorrow it really gets down to the nitty-gritty, doesn't it? The individual shootout.
Yeah, it does. Again, this is all great that everybody's having a bit of fun tonight. The nation's sort of trophy is important. Tomorrow it's all going to be about yourself and being selfish as much as you can. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a bit of a cracker.
Well, we'll look forward to it too. Can't wait to see what happens. Join us again tomorrow from 3 o'clock on Sky F1. Bye for now.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live. On all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.